All right, guys, we're going to start out today with reviewing solving multi-step equations. So go ahead and get out your composition books or your notebooks, and let's go ahead and title it, I don't know, we could say Intro Solving Multi-Step Equations. I hope you guys can't see that, so let me bring that down a little bit. Sorry about that. Intro, solving multi-step equations. Let me grab a calculator right beside me. Okay, number one. We are going to solve 7x minus 29 equals negative 15. So we're going to start off pretty slow, okay, because this is an Algebra 1 skill, so you might have forgotten it. I don't really know. So let's start off. We know we're going to get rid of that minus 29 first, so we always do the opposite. So we are going to add 29 to both sides, and we'll have 7x equals, then negative 15 plus 29 is 14, and then divide by 7, and you're going to get 2. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, multi-step equations, more than one step. All right, let's get a smidge harder. Number 2, 3.1 times x plus 2 minus 1.5x equals 5.2 x minus 4. Now, a lot of people look at this equation and they think, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. It's got too many decimals, blah, blah, blah. It's harder. It is not, guys. You have a calculator for a reason. I'm going to kind of put my calculator right here so you can kind of see me doing it at the same time. We know that when a number is on the outside, we are going to distribute this. So we're going to do 3.1 times x and 3.1 times 2. So 3.1x. And then again, in your calculator, 3.1 times 2 is 6.2. You still have the minus 1.5x. Now, over here on the right side, I am going to do the distributive property again. So 5.2x. And then my calculator, 5.2 times negative 4. Make sure you do that negative 4. That minus sign means negative. All right. Now, what do we do on the left? Look at these guys right here. These are like terms, so we are going to simplify. So 3.1 minus 1.5 is 1.6x. Still got our 6.2. Still got our 5.2x. And still have our 20.8. So now we need to get all the x's on the left. So I'm going to move the 5.2x. It is a positive 5.2, so we know that we are going to subtract that 5.2. And again, we're not going to worry about the decimals. Okay, your calculator does it. 1.6 minus 5.2, we get negative 3.6x. Still have my 6.2. Still have my negative 20.8. Make sure you know that as a negative. Now, this problem is identical to number 1. 2 steps and you're done. We're going to get rid of the 6.2, which is plus, so the opposite of plussing is subtracting. So negative 20.8 minus 6.2, we're going to get negative 27. And then how do we get rid of that negative 3.6? Yes, divide. So x is 7.5. So question 1 was the easier one. Question 2, smidge harder. But remember, you're just doing the steps that you learned in Algebra 1. It doesn't matter if it's a fraction or a decimal. Use your calculator to simplify those things. All right, 2 more problems, then we're done with this video. Number 3, we are going to solve the equation 4y given x. Okay, so it's going to look like this. 4x plus 9 equals 30. And then they're going to give you what x equals. This time x is 3. So what do you think you're going to do if they give you what x is equal to? I'm going to take what x is equal to and I'm going to plug it in there. So 4 times 3. And now it says solve the equation for y. So now I'm going to solve it for y. So 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to subtract off that 12. So 30 minus 12. And then I'm going to divide by 9. So y is 2. Okay, so anytime it asks you to solve the equation for y given x, you take that x and you plug it into the equation and just finish it by solving for y. Last guy, number 4. We're going to solve the formula for the indicated variable. Okay, so our formula is C equals 2 pi r, and we're going to solve this guy for r. What formula is that? You guys should know. Yep, that's circumference. Okay, so if I'm solving for this r right here, I'm going to just circle it. I want to get him by himself. So right now this 2 pi is chilling, okay? It's being multiplied by the r. So what's the opposite of multiplying by r? Good, dividing. Now this kind of stuff is always going to feel weird when you do it because you're not actually getting an answer. You're actually getting like an expression. So r equals, because you got rid of the 2, you got rid of the pi, c over 2 pi. So it actually just depends on what they're asking you to solve for. You just want to get that variable by itself. All right, guys, you have some practice problems in your practice pack, so go ahead and do those.